basically, I was writing a book wherein I wanted to put in interviews of various professionals of different industries. Like, so basically, my aim is to give an idea to career seekers about different career opportunities and what they can do in the future. So that's my main aim behind the interview.
Right.
So to begin with, I would like to introduce yourself, your company, industry, your work experience.
All right. Okay. I believe probably among the different activities that I have, the current company which we created in India, which is called L'Opéra, is the best known. This is a chain of authentic French bakery and pastry and tea rooms, what we call in French salon de thé. It has right now 16 outlets in NCR and one in Dehradun. And it has set the benchmark for absolutely high quality, authentic French bakery and pastry products. The idea of creating l'Opéra belonged to our son. For once, it's the son who started and the parents who followed, not the other way around. This is about my current activity. And besides that, I also have a consulting firm which is based out of Singapore. And it helps startups, mainly technology startups, develop their activities in Asia. Now, to myself, I am an electrical and electronics engineer. I graduated engineering in 1974 from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. And I have a PhD in industrial economy. And I have also a degree in business administration. Over the years, I have worked in 64 different countries. And at the beginning of my career, I started teaching. Then I started working for a very large consulting firm. I was working in the field of feasibility studies for nuclear power plants. And right now we produce breads, pastries, and croissants. And I have pretty much done everything between nuclear power plants and croissants.
So why did you choose this specific industry to come into, given that you have so much experience in so many industries? So what was the motive
Well,
behind?
as I mentioned, the area of bakery and pastry, this was the idea and initiative of our son, Laurent. He, in the last 6 months of his business degree, he had to do an international, he had to do internship, an international internship. He came to India and he noticed that that was a sector of the industry which was not well developed. The high-end, high-quality, authentic French products. So to answer the answer of question, because our son found that there was a market need and an opportunity.
So now, could you give us some idea about how the bakery and patisserie industry has shaped in the last 5 years, maybe?
Yes, I believe if you look, there was a period before l'Opéra started, and then there is a period after l'Opéra started. If you look, we opened our first outlet in 2011. And if you look, there was nothing of the kind of bakery and pastry operations that we have. There were really here and there some traditional shops that they would call themselves bakeries, but it was really not that. L'Opéra was clearly the trendsetter. It was the pioneer and the trailblazer. And we brought the concept of bakery and pastry and then later coffee shops And I don't want, you can research yourself. There are at least half a dozen, or no, more than half, a dozen or so brands that have followed. In the area where you live, you can just go from the top to the end of Green Park Market, and then you will see how many have just opened, who are most of them, they followed the lead of L'Opéra. So the sector, but it's also absolutely okay, because India is a very large country, 1.3 billion, and this was an area which was not developed. We started, we pioneered it, but there is room for hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of shops in this area. As the tastes evolve, as the people get used to this type of product, so this is going to be an important growth area for the future.
And so next question would be related. So how do you foresee the industry in the next 5 years?
Oh, it's not just me who foresees. There are some very serious market studies. They believe there is a potential of growth of roughly between 20 and 25% per year, which is huge. So this is certainly going to be a futures industry, and great room for development.
So could you please throw some light on the challenges you faced during the initial years of your career and your advice to youngsters, how to overcome or maybe avoid these kind of challenges?
Well, you mean my own career or the business we have started? Because these are two very different things.
Your
it's
career.
Personal. Excuse me?
I think your career, yeah.
My God. Well, the challenges you face at the beginning of the career is to learn how to balance the different aspects of your life, professional life, family life, social life. This is one challenge that everyone faces. The second challenge that every young person who starts their career faces is how to translate everything that you have learned in school, in college, in university. How do you translate that in specific and concrete action? In other words, how quickly you can earn and you can learn, acquire experience. Because there is one thing that you cannot teach, you cannot learn in college, in school, is experience. So every young professional, they have to learn how to balance their lives. They have to learn, secondly, how to translate the theory into practice. And then, obviously, the third thing that is a question is, what are the objectives and what are the goals in your life? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to have, for example, just acquire money? Do you want to serve society? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be a good person? Do you want to be happy for yourself? Do you want to make others happy? So these are some main questions that I believe every young person who enters life or professional life has to answer. So it was no different for me. I had to face all these questions and come to conclusions.
Okay. So next, could you please tell me some job opportunities youngsters can expect in your industry in the next 5 years?
Well, in India, there is a very, very happy situation because the country is in full development. Obviously, there are also challenges, but the opportunities are huge. So I believe whoever, with whatever skills they have, if they have principles, if they have some qualities like perseverance, if they have qualities, if they have the skill of pursuing with set objective their career, if they are committed, they are patient, they have a learning attitude, they have everything, every opportunity is there, and it is so really, you know, we moved from France to India, so it means we wouldn't have done that if we did not think there were opportunities. So if you are if you are an engineer, if you are a mechanician, if you are a plumber, if you are an electrician, if you are I don't know, a car mechanic, if you are whatever, if you are a teacher, if you are an artist, if you are a painter, if you just name it, if you have a sense for trading, if you have everything, every opportunity is up there, but you need to apply the necessary other human skills also, and then you will be successful. So I could really, this is right now, the Indian youth are in a very unique position, but they need to acquire a good education. They need to be patient, to learn also skills from others, to acquire experience, to work hard, to be patient, and I cannot see why they would not be successful in whatever they do in life.
So now coming to the topic of education, what would you suggest students to work and study in India, or to go outside, study overseas and look for better job opportunities over there? And what kind, yeah.
You know, you should not forget that, I don't know, something like 150, 200 years, if you go back, Europe or United States were not what you see today.
Yeah.
The streets of Europe, the streets of Paris, they were as dirty as many of the streets that you find in Delhi or in some other tier 2 or tier 3 cities. So those things did not happen overnight. Those things were built by people over time who were committed. Now, the question that you bring, it is a very interesting question. It depends if you are only interested in your own self, and if you want to have, let's say, just a good life and then forget everything else, or you feel not just in words, but also in your heart, truly committed to Bharat and to India. If this is what you want to do, not just words, you know, words is easy. Everybody says Jai Hind and wonderful, etc., but then they want to have a green card and go and live in California. Yeah. So that's Jai Hind or Happy Bharat, etc., then it's not credible. But if you really love your country, get the education here, get the best education somewhere else, but come and translate that education for the betterment of your country, for its development, for uplifting your other fellow citizens. So if you ask me, I would say I prefer this one, that you go and you get the best available education, but then you have to come patiently work to develop the rest of the country and to make a great success out of it. So yes, I love India. I think India has some of the most talented people, intelligent, all the past history of India, this is true, but you cannot just sit and tell stories of the glorious past. You have to get education and come and improve. So the streets will be perfect, the infrastructure will be perfect, the roads will be perfect, airports will be perfect, companies and factories will be perfect. There will be no people who are there will be a minimum revenue for everyone. So the farmers will be happy, the workers will be happy, but those things, they come with effort. They don't come just like that. So yes, get education, but come and let's transform and make a wonderful India.
Yeah, very encouraging and motivating words. So I guess that would be it.